On YouTube. Check us out on the YouTube, but we are here if you want to
live
get
now.
We're live now.
We're live.
All right, episode 7 of the Toxic Boys. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. My name is Poppa Left. I got the biggest in the game with me, Jay from Florida and Ari from Manhattan. Jay from Florida, how you doing, brother?
I'm feeling good, brother. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I got a lot of things to talk about with this Knicks team, man. We kind of getting close to a crossroads, right? You said it a couple weeks ago. So we'll discuss it. We'll get into it, man. But this 500 thing ain't a good thing. I'll tell you that.
All right, Ari from Manhattan, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I don't have as much to say. I'm just very distraught. Let's just put it that way. I'm whatever. It is what it is.
Ari, I sense that you are watching. You're like a old head watching young kids make mistakes. Like you are just like letting people revel in their short-sighted approach to viewing this team, and you are just like, oh boy, you'll learn eventually.
Yeah, because I used to be one of them. Honestly, to be honest, it's just we're stuck. But whatever, we'll get into that also.
Okay, so I have a couple topics that I wanted to run through. Jay from Florida, I know you wrote out a list. You came prepared today, so I'm gonna let you jump us off with the first topic of the night, Jay. I trust your notes.
Well, I've been looking over a couple things, man, and I want to get to this 500 thing, right? You said a couple weeks ago, Poppa Left, you said it's more likely that they make a win now move than actually tear it down and do this rebuild right. And the longer they go 500, this rebuild, this win now move is probably going to happen. There's a Fred Cass article out about Emmanuel quickly possibly getting traded for a first round pick. You know, we've been saying this for a long time. Reset the rookie contracts. Poppa Left suggested to trade Emmanuel quickly right before the draft.
Move up.
It takes months and months. It takes. We can't get down to the buzzer now, and now we want to see if we can move Emmanuel quickly. We want to see if we can get into a win now move, bro. It's just more treadmill, and this is the reason why Ari doesn't want to talk about anything, because there's really nothing to talk about. This team is in a terrible situation. 2019, we were in a better situation than we are now. We're capped out. We have no direction. We have a coach that's completely lost. Our golden child, our quote-unquote franchise player can't jump over a textbook, can't finish at the rim. I know he had a good game last night, but, I mean, the season, the 18, 17 games is proof in the pudding. So it's like, where do we go from here? Like, what's going to happen from here? The longer the season plays out, the longer we mingle with 500, the more these guys are going to get antsy to save their little jobs to trade for a Zach LaVine or trade for this player or trade for this window or Jay Crowder. Who knows who the hell they want to trade for? But it's a bad situation, man.
No, I was watching a couple podcasts. I was watching the NBA front office podcast, and it's good to tap in with the other NBA teams and see what their ethos is, see what they're thinking about. Because I think as Knicks fans, we kind of get caught up in our own team, and we forget that we're in competition with 29 other franchises that are trying. Well, at least thinking about trying to win a championship, right? So at the end of the day, we get a someone called fuck it. Max called a fucking Knicks fan TV last night, waited on hold for an hour, and said, I'm sick of these Knicks fans, these new content creators pitting players against each other. To me, that's the most ridiculous. And apparently, I'm a novice. All right, I'm a novice at basketball. I just got hired to coach basketball, organized basketball, but I'm a novice.
Well,
but it's like
you had Tony this week that thought we making mad bread over here.
Mad bags for being negative. But I gotta say this, bro. We as the Toxic Boys, we look at this team from a front office general manager's perspective, right? Because as fans. And anybody, my fiance's sleeping right now. My fiance can go to the Knicks game and understand, like, oh, we're winning, oh, we're losing, right? But like the conversation is deeper than that. It's about how you build a contender. That's where the real conversations come into play. And if you watch like podcasts like NBA front office, like they will start talking about team by team what they're looking for, what direction they're going in, and how they are trying to move their value. Like right now, the Atlanta Hawks are desperately looking to push John Collins, and like the Utah Jazz, right? We talk about a team that's here's the thing. First, on pitting players against each other. Ari, I'm gonna get this. Yeah. Pitting players against each other. Fans may do that, right? And get heat for it. Front offices, that is their job. That is their job, to pit players against each other, because you cannot pay every single player 15 years in a row, 15 years on the salary. The Golden State Warriors just won a championship. They had to let go 7 guys. Gary Payton II is in Portland. Damian Lee, you just saw him in Phoenix for a couple more $1,000. Okay, you constantly have to pit players against each other, and I think there's a major move that was made, and there's a major rumor that's out there, and I think that there's a lot of Knicks fans reacting to like, oh, we went 3-2 on the trip. That's not the biggest story here. The biggest story is that Evan Fournier, in the second year of a 3-year, $54 million guaranteed contract, he's not even in the second year. He is getting DNP'd.
Hold on. I heard somebody say that was a Tom Thibodeau decision today on a podcast. Could you break down now? Tom Thibodeau hasn't made a logical decision in the 3 years we watching him. Who's making these kind of decisions? I know it ain't.
Bro, hold on 1 second. I will let you know. Watch. I'm gonna play this for you, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me get this clip. This is Leon Rose, right? This is Leon Rose talking about Mike Breen asked Leon Rose, what are the characteristics? Like, what kind of coach do you want? By the way, on this clip, you could find it on my Twitter. I'll post it up. But I was feeling so sick, bro. I teach in a school, and there's so many germs. I dap up kids all the time. They come up, Mr. L, give me a hug, all that shit. And I'm like, every time I come home, I like to take a shower to get these germs off me. Bro, I was sitting at home last night. I was feeling sick because I was like, yo, Leon Rose is dead ass pulling a fast one on this thirsty ass, passionate fan base to get in the playoffs. Like, he was sick. Like, you could see him. He was sick to his stomach that they didn't make the playoffs last year. It's the most beautiful thing for a rebuilding team to not make the playoffs. You get more talent, right? He was sick to pick at 11. That's why he fucking finagled his way out of there. But this is a conversation that Leon Rose had with Mike Breen during the pandemic before he signed Tom Thibodeau. And Mike Breen, who they replaced with Alan Hahn, they took the end of the year interview off MSG Networks, okay? Right. I don't know why they would do that, but they took it off MSG Networks. And now Alan Hahn is asking him questions. But Mike Breen's questions were fucking on point, bro. He was asking fucking real journalistic questions. Here's Mike Breen's question. I want you to listen to this.
Are any particular characteristics a must? We want to find the right leader that can develop our young players.
Stop right there. You want hold on 1 second. You want to find the right leader that can develop our young players, bro. The Knicks drafted Obi Toppin at 8. And then Julius Randle in a contract year. He was gone. He was leaving. Gone. You didn't have 3 years, $63 million. The third year was a team option. He was gone. And you had Obi Toppin getting paid $8 million a year, right? As a rookie. Like 5 foot, like ascending deal, right? But like little piece of shit NBA salary money for a guy per 36 who can do just fine, right? In a rebuild, right? Hold on 1 second, Jay. Develop your young talent. Then you had Emmanuel Quickley sitting behind Elfrid Payton. So that right then and there, that's ridiculous. But the most important part is coming. Listen.
As well as hold everyone accountable.
Laugh out loud. Hold everyone accountable. By the way, if you look at our screen on YouTube, it says on the bottom, "Hi, Leon. Hold everyone accountable," which he does not. Julius Randle has never been held accountable in his history as a New York Knick. But this is not even the most important part. Keep listening.
And take us from development to becoming a perennial winner.
Now,
hold on.
What we've been begging for, go ahead.
Collaborative.
No, hold on. You missed this part. This is the most important part.
A perennial winner.
Listen.
We also want somebody that we think that will be collaborative with the front office.
You heard what he just said, Jay?
Be collaborative with the front office. I got it.
Do you know that Tom Thibodeau has been fired everywhere he goes for fucking meddling in with the front office or literally being the front office management? Like, he fucking got fired from Minnesota for being an awful, awful front office GM.
Correct.
Literally, everything that you read on Knicks Twitter, if you just, I promise you this, do a little exercise. Go on Twitter, search in the search engine, Thibs, garbage time. Search those 3 words, space them out. Thibs, garbage time. You will find tweets from 2018 that sound exactly the same about the Knicks in 2022. It's crazy. But yes, Evan Fournier and fucking Kemba Walker and re-signing all of these vets, right? Noel, Burks, Taj, all these guys, they're literally fucking up the development, okay, to win now. And not even win, like just get in the play-in, get in the playoffs.
Disgusting, bro. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting.
Dude, they it's going in a really bad direction. What happened?
You want to hear a funny one? You want to listen to Wally? You want to listen to Wally Zerbiak?
I've never seen Ari like speechless.
Ari's done. Ari's drained.
No, I mean, there's not much to say. It's like all hope's not lost, but once they trade Emmanuel quickly and 3 and 4 first-round picks for Zach LaVine, everything's lost, and then there's no point of then you're like in the Isaiah Thomas years, because then you're not going to win anything. Like, I forgot where it was. There was some show that it was on. Maybe it was Players Club or something, and people were saying that this is worse than the Isaiah years. No, because we at least have our picks right now. But if they make that win now move and they trade for a Zach LaVine or a second-tier star, then you're talking about being a second-round exit for the next 3 years, and then you're talking about
no future
and no future. You're the Lakers. You're like the Los Angeles Lakers, like nothing. So then
it goes back.
Why I'm speechless. That's why I'm speechless.
What we've been saying.
Hold on one second. Let's go back. Right. Let's talk about like when we talk about front offices, right? And we talk about healthy kind of positioning as a front office. Now, Jay from Florida, you're on record for saying you felt better as a Knicks fan in 2019, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I want you to listen. This is literally from the company. Listen to, and it's right as Leon Rose was hired, right? And this is Wally Zerbiak during COVID, in his pajamas, talking about how optimistic the Knicks situation is. Listen, and he's true, but listen.
Although it's been a lot of tough years, is their salary cap is in great standing. Very, very good. They had one of the lowest payrolls in the league last year. We know that they were rebuilding a little bit and going through the draft, and they have some young pieces.
See that Freudian slip? Did you hear that Freudian slip there?
Yep.
Did you hear that Freudian slip? Listen. I know they were rebuilding a little bit with RJ Barrett and Mitchell. Listen again.
Very, very good. They had one of the lowest payrolls in the league last year. They were rebuilding a little bit and going through the draft, and they have some.
I know they were rebuilding a little bit and going through the draft.
Some young pieces, and Mitchell Robinson.
Poppa Left got the receipts.
But the fact that their balance sheet, as far as the salary cap, is pretty much clean as a whistle, and now you bring in a guy like Leon Rose and Worldwide West.
So time out.
As a whistle.
Clean as a whistle. He's talking about the job that Steve Mills, I'm sorry, Ari, but the job that Steve Mills did to clean the cap sheet. Now, Ari, can you explain to me what Leon Rose did with a clean cap sheet? What did he do?
Well,
I'm sorry, Ari. Ari looks like he's about to jump off a building, but go ahead.
No. Basically, he first of all, about that Steve Mills thing, it took him 15 years to finally clean the cap.
All right, whatever. Come on, relax, Ari. Go ahead.
So basically, Leon Rose initially signed 1-year deals, and then because of the almighty 4 seed, he decided to extend Julius Randle the big money, and then because RJ
Barrett, 4 years. That's 4 years, 117 mil.
Yeah, and then the next season, RJ Barrett played.
Hold on. Evan Fournier. Hold on, don't stop.
Oh, yeah, Evan Fournier to big money. What was that? 4 years, 80 million, right, or something like that.
Clean cap sheet.
Right. Yeah. Clean cap sheet. Terrible signing. Even the signings that he did that he got off with Burks and Kemba and all that, he had to give away a first-round pick and like 4 second-round picks just to get off of expiring deals.
There you go.
Just to free up space to sign his godson, who's good, but
And
he's
then
not a player.
Take ass after OKC victory. Go ahead.
He's not built for this roster. But not just that, he then extended RJ Barrett before he had to again, and through the first 17 games, that's looking a little iffy. And then he paid Mitchell Robinson 4 years, $60 million, even though he has some guy on the bench who's just as good as him.
Literally capped out. Literally, the clean whistle is gone.
No, it's gone.
Literally capped out.
No, and now the biggest
and
problem,
the contracts aren't even that tradable.
No, they're not. They're not trade. No, first of all, they're not tradable. And the worst part about it is, listen, I'm just gonna keep it honest. Like that RJ Barrett deal, it's early. It's the first 17 games of that deal. But I'm saying if we're talking about this guy being a bust, that's not the conversation we should be having. The conversation we'd be having is this guy an all-star? Yes or no? Not if you're a bust.
Signed with the trajectory to make those. That's why they put those incentives in there.
Right.
Yeah, I know, dude. So basically we were capped out like completely, and then on top of it, we made it. Now we have even more of a problem now because now RJ Barrett's contract is looking shaky.
All right, Jay, I want to pivot to you, but listen to what Wally says at the end of this.
Who have the connections to bring big-time players to a franchise. That is a huge positive for this team, and that is one of the reasons why there's a lot of optimism for Knicks fans that this can get turned around really, really quick. We saw the Lakers. They were a dumpster fire 2 years ago, and then last year they were the best team in the league. So there's a way to turn things around really quick when you get the right people in place that can bring the players in.
This is so laughable, bro. Beyond laughable, bro.
They did the opposite, complete opposite of what Han is talking about right there. Wally, whoever it was. Listen, they've struck out time after time in trying to get top end talent. They so-called CAA big bosses. They're not. They are irrelevant old guys. They were popping in 2003. These guys have yet to complete a real trade. They got Cam Reddish done, but past Cam Reddish, easy trade. They haven't done a real trade. Free agency is non-existent. They can't get anybody in their CAA circle to come to the Knicks. Just failure after failure after failure after failure. They haven't even traded into a spot to get an identified player that they like. They like Bones Highland. They didn't get him. They like Tyrese Maxey. They didn't get him. All these guards
like Chris Duarte. They like Book Knight. I'm not saying that Duarte. By the way, the Duarte. I'm not Duarte, but the Pacers right now are on a 5-game winning streak, and they're playing like literally as their name says it is.
Right.
Or the Kings, right?
The Kings. They're flying down the court, bro.
Right. You need 3-point shooter. Murphy third is shooting
Trey Murphy, bro.
You couldn't get him. Like all these players they've identified, there's actual tangible articles on the internet that says the Knicks identified these players and they didn't get any of these guys. Like they don't get the talent. Like I don't understand why are they in the building if they're coddling. The only talent they've received is their literal godson that they signed Ryan Arsenato last calendar year, not this year. He was on the Knicks last year to ensure that Brunson would come to the Knicks this summer. Then you go ahead and give his daddy a full-time job on top of that. So now you're insulating and getting Jalen Brunson's whole family job.
Worldwide West been working with Leon Rose for 13 years prior to this.
Worldwide West has a documented close relationship with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal has no interest in the Knicks. Bradley Beal will never come to the Knicks. This is
that's what they said. That's what they're selling you.
But here's the thing: if you did that trade, that's not a good. Like, why would you want to get Bradley Beal right now?
Oh, can I just speak on that for a second? Can I speak on that, Ari?
Yeah.
Hold on, Jay. Can I speak on that for a second about Bradley Beal? And I understand you scoffing at him, but like, can I just explain something? We talk about we laugh at the tank and the tank didn't work for the Philadelphia 76ers. Can somebody help me make this make sense? If the Knicks were a 50 win a season, get into the second round, get their heart broken in the playoffs, and this fan base as it stands right now off of a 37 win team is calling the fans miserable and holding the fans accountable for a mediocre 99 pro. You're telling me that this fan base would be upset with Joel Embiid?
The Sixers have let more talent go out the door than we've accumulated in 15 years.
That's insane.
Talent.
This fan base would be going nuts for Joel Embiid, bro.
There's no Harden without drafting Ben Simmons, without drafting Joel Embiid. They've let go of numerous talent. They had an opportunity to draft Tatum. They picked Fultz. Fultz's career came off a cliff, but these guys have accumulated talent.
Yeah, they missed 50% of the time, and they're still nice. Like
still,
literally.
And listen, they missed the so-called misses. Nerlens Noel. Knicks fans were shaking ass for Nerlens Noel 2 years ago. Nerlens Noel is a serviceable NBA big, and he was on their roster at one time. Many players over and over again were drafted by that franchise, and they could have fielded a good NBA team that they would have held on. So don't tell me tanking doesn't work in the draft.
Oh, it's so I wanted to speak on something real quick, and I do have these Leon Rose sound bites that I'm just going to keep popping in because they're hilariously gaslit, hilariously mixed messaging, and he's literally selling hope for like 3 years now. But I want to say this, and by the way, I do want to get into some positives about the team later on. But we talk about tanking, right? And people, first of all, every single star you're trying to acquire is from a team that either tanked or built through the draft. So it doesn't. You're shitting on something that you wish you would have
because they
the logic doesn't match up at all. But I want to say this, Jay. When I'm speaking, you just need to. I'm not trying to like sun you or anything, but you need to like catch it because when you speak, it drowns out your mic when I'm speaking.
You're calling on an iPad, right, Jay?
Nah, I'm on my phone. I had to dump.
Yeah. So you gotta like I gotta pass you the rock and chill out. But I want to say this.
Pass
Knicks
the rock
fans,
more, you know.
All right, brother. All right, relax. Relax. I'm gonna set the table for you guys. I'm gonna let you guys cook. I'm gonna set the table. Knicks fans, let's go back to like Michael Sweetney, right? Let's go back to Mache Lampe, right? That draft, if you look up on YouTube, the Knicks fans' reaction, they were ecstatic back then because they were like, we finally got a draft pick, right? And then the Knicks draft guys like Channing Frye. They draft guys like Jordan Hill. They draft guys like Wilson Chandler, Trevor Ariza, Nate Robinson, David Lee, Ronaldo Balkman. And then they get Melo, and it's goodbye, no draft picks. And then you have Melo on a terrible team with no draft picks. And then finally, at the end of the Melo contract, at the end of the Phil Jackson Melo extension, you get a draft pick in Frank Ntilikina. You get a draft pick in Kevin Knox. And I'm not saying this to make fun of the Knicks. I'm just telling you what I believe the psychology of the Knicks fans and how they kind of like laugh at the draft, as if that's not the foolproof way of building a normal team, right? Hold on. Frank, Kevin, then you get RJ, then you get Obi and Quick, right? And then you get Grimes, and then you get Deuce, you get Sims, you get all these players. The point is, we laugh at the draft as if it's like, oh, we tanked and we missed on Zion, or, oh, we were bad that 1 year and we got Frank and we should have drafted Donovan Mitchell, or we drafted Kevin Knox and we should have drafted Shea. The point is that you always can go back into the draft. Even if you fuck up, you're not paying for it. If you sign Evan Fournier for a fake win now move, you're paying for it. You're paying a guy $18 million to sit on the bench. Kevin Knox netted you. Even as bad as Kevin Knox was, he netted you Cam Reddish on a cheap deal. You have to be normal. Go back into the draft every year until you fucking figure it out, because it's foolproof. You can't lose.
Yo, I'm going to try to figure out how to put this graph on the YouTube,
and we laugh at it.
It's crazy. Yeah,
we laugh at bro. Jay, talk about Sam Presti shit that you talk. People are laugh at Sam Presti, the best basketball human on the planet. Kevin Durant, the best guy, the best human basketball player on the planet. Right? He's in love with Sam Presti.
Right. and he went on a podcast recently and talked about the talent. Kevin Durant go back to OKC, no problem. I believe that. He talked about the talent. He talked about what they put together with Giddey, with SGA, with their bigs, with Chet coming up. The talent, they just keep taking swings. With Poku, they keep taking swings. They're putting stuff in their cupboard. And at the end of the day, they get the
KD called Lou Dort a great player, by the way.
And Lou Dort is as the same player as RJ Barrett. Get mad at your mama. I listen. You thought last night he's the same. It's the same level player. It's the same impact. RJ Barrett is just an NBA starter, and so is Lou Dort, and they equal out. They're the same thing. Durant talks about Presti doing his job. I mean, Presti has done this many times over. He's destroyed and rebuilt this team tons of different times. He knows how to allocate talent. He knows how to put together a roster. He knows how to invest in his guys. There's no question year after year who's playing. His young guys are playing. Josh Giddey got the ball in his hands. He's learning. He's learning how to improvise. He doesn't try to get to the hoop like RJ every time and try and get stuffed at the hoop. He got a little floater. He got a little 15-foot jump shot. He's doing things to get better year after year. SGA is a superstar, guaranteed all-star, maybe all-star starter, and they're doing their job with him. We haven't even seen Chet yet. Chet hasn't played a minute yet on his team. He hasn't even played a tick yet on his team, and look what they're doing. Come on, Knicks fans.
And bro, they don't even. Here's the thing. I want to play this, right? Because this is important.
On a space,
first of all, yeah, Jay.
No, you can't do it responsible.
Jay, two things, right? First of all, with Oklahoma City Thunder, they are literally like playing the OKC Thunder. I don't know if you guys are into baseball. Ari, I know you gave up on baseball a long time ago. Jay, you're a 90s Yankee fan and you put up with them, right?
Right.
But if you play baseball in Coors Field in Colorado because of the altitude, like you can just hit a pop-up and it's a home run. You know what I mean? When you play OKC this year, prepare to get your stats inflated because their rim protector doesn't exist. They were running James Robinson Earl, who's 6'8", right, from Villanova. The paint was wide open. That's why everybody had a good night. But I want you to listen to this. And they don't care about the center position right now because they don't have Shet. And they don't care to evaluate it. They want to evaluate their talent of what it is. They don't care about paying a center 4 years, $60 million. But listen to Leon Rose when he talks about development in terms of playing young players. I want you to listen to this.
I'm curious if there's an edict this year to make sure they get minutes.
An edict? No, there's no edicts. Hey, we love our young players too. Believe me.
As an agent.
Okay, so he says this is right before this season. He said there's no edict, meaning there's no order like down from the front office telling Thibs, you have to play Obi Toppin 20 minutes. You have to play Emmanuel Quickly 20 minutes. You have to play Quentin Grimes 20 minutes. There is no like edict, right? Now listen, this is Leon Rose before he hired Thibs during COVID. Listen to Mike Breen. Mike Breen asked such a brilliant question here that Leon Rose literally fumbles on it for like 10 seconds before he figures out. And in the video itself, it's edited like 3 different times. Like Mike Breen stumped the shit out of him. Listen to this question.
When you had a young player that just wasn't quite there, but you felt maybe they're giving enough of a rope or enough patience for them to develop.
Now, that pause. I just want to take advantage of that pause. He's being asked as an agent, as a former agent, when you had a young player who wasn't getting minutes, right? How do you do that? Like, how do you manage that? Now, as a front office member, how has it changed? Now, listen to this answer.
A great question, because as an agent, that's probably one of the things that I'm really going to have to work on this side, because as an agent, you want your guy to play.
Right.
You want your guy needs to play to develop.
Your guy needs to play to develop. Your guy needs to play to develop. Your guy needs to play to develop.
He understands this, right? So what's up with Obi Toppin?
It's more than just play, though. It's play and be in the right positions to actually get usage.
Bro, Ari, we can't even get to that conversation. We can't even get to that conversation. Or listen to what he says. Listen to what he says.
I know.
A lot of discussions about players playing but having to be held accountable. and players, having to earn the minutes. So even though they may be younger players, there has to be a standard. There has to be accountability in order for them to grow and to improve. Instead, as an agent, and some philosophies might be allowing players to play through their mistakes. But I think there has to be a balance there. And as an agent, I didn't want any balances. I wanted them to play as much as they could.
You know why Leon Rose, as an agent, wanted all of his young players to play?
Because he gets bigger contracts and gets bigger commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
And you know why? You know why the Knicks can't keep all of your Hive players?
Because eventually they're gonna need bigger contracts.
They want bigger contracts and bigger commissions.
Yo, can I
Don't pit the players against each other. You guys are miserable. I'm a pre-K student.
let's talk about. I want to kind of finish up the OKC thing a little.
Pre-K ass bitch.
About 1 second. Sam Presti, you have assistant GM, right? That's doing a good job. The Knicks definitely, absolutely should go get somebody from OKC. Sam Presti this last summer signed Chip England, right? And I do a lot of research on how good organizations are run. Now, for people that don't know who Chip England is, Chip England was the San Antonio Spurs development coach, shooting coach, for 20 years under Greg Popovich, right? He left the organization to go to OKC for a bag. Chip England was in charge of developing Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. He gave Kawhi Leonard a jump shot, Tim Duncan. All their jump shots came from this guy's knowledge and his coaching. Now, you have a Knicks team, a Knicks organization with all these said young players in the cupboard, and they haven't yet to hire a shooting coach, and they have yet to fill out a assistant coach staff to its full ability.
It's all of Thibs' boys, all of them.
All Thibs' boys. Now, if you have somebody like Chip England at 61 years old, has seen more NBA, has seen everything in the world in the NBA, you have the biggest bag to give anybody, any coach that you want to, but you refuse to do it because you want Thibs collars around these kids. You need developmental coaches. You need somebody that can teach RJ a 15-foot jump shot. You need RJ that can teach him footwork and teach him to finish around the hoop. This is logic. You can't hire Brunson to have him beef on the sideline with Obi Toppin and collar his son the whole time. It doesn't work. You have to run an organization coherently and futuristically to be successful in the NBA. And Sam Presti's doing that over and over again in OKC. It's point blank period. These guys are wasting our time. Everything Poppa Left pulled, all the receipts today. Every receipt Poppa Left pulled, he's completely contradicting himself.
Hold on, you want to hear one more, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to the actual team. But I want to play one more. This is Leon, and they, by the way, Ari, just put your conspiracy hat on for a second, Ari. MSG Networks took down the end of last season's interview with Leon Rose.
Really?
They have every single Leon Rose interview up except for this one.
Was there an exit interview?
This fake exit interview with Mike Breen. They took, and I want you to listen to this one. Listen up. Listen how sad. But I want you to listen. This is the direction, right? When I asked Knicks Twitter, this is the biggest indictment on Leon Rose, and you can't argue with me because this is what you said. This is what you said. I asked the Knicks fans, I said, are the Knicks a rebuilding team, yes or no? 50-50 split. You imagine buying an iPhone and not knowing what you're going to get. Like, you don't even know what this product is. You're fucking capping and caping for this product. You don't even know what it is.
Dude, they're not trying to.
I asked you if it's a rebuild. You don't even know. So listen up. Listen. This is what Leon Rose tells you. It's not a rebuild, but listen.
Disappointment and that part of it, and that's definitely there. The fact that we're not in the playoffs, that was our goal. We wanted to be in the playoffs. We wanted to take a step, but I feel as though since the All-Star break, the team's shown some
selling you mediocrity
and has shown some good signs. We've been 11-11. We've won 8 out of our last 13. We have 9 players on our team that are 24 years old or younger. And, and Julius is only 27. So,
Julius is literally standing in the way of a young player getting developed. Julius is only 27. You want to hear a funny one, Ari? He references when Mike Breen says, what kind of veterans are you going to bring in when it was COVID? And he was like, well, Julius is a vet. Now, 3 years later, he's a young player.
No, I mean, listen, you have to understand the financial incentives for everything that's going on here, right? So, like Leon Rose is financially incentivized to keep his job. So, of course, like you said, he's going to sell mediocrity because mediocrity is more attainable for him than putting a championship contender, right? So he's like, all right, we want to make a step. We want to go a step in the right direction because he knows that it's a better chance that he's going to take a step than win a championship. He doesn't want to set the expectations too high, right?
Rose has ever made, Ari. The cheap money he's ever made.
So basically, I think we have our first bot in the chat also, but shout out to you, Sex Find. So basically, he's trying to sell mediocrity, and I remember he said the goal is to make the playoffs and take a step. Masai Ujiri came out with a thing saying the goal is not the playoffs. The goal is to build a championship contender, so that you could just tell the two different philosophies.
And Ari, it's not all or nothing, right? You can develop, and as a byproduct of your development, you can be good and make the playoffs, right? The Utah Jazz are not sending their guys out to lose. They're sending their guys out to develop. The Indiana Pacers aren't sending out their guys to lose. They're sending out their guys to develop. And if they win across the way, fuck yeah, get a win.
Yeah,
get a win.
Because then you're a young team who's doing nice. It's going to be easier to attract people here. Or if you lose,
then you go right back
get a
in.
lottery pick.
Oh God, it's so simple. This fucking
I gotta shout out these stats real quick, just for all
fucking
the people.
dumbass fan base.
I'm gonna send this to you, Papa, and then you can put it in the spaces chat because I don't know how to add it. I don't know how to add it to the screen right now. So the probabilities from over the past 30 years, okay? The probabilities over the past 30 years. The first draft pick has a 63% chance of being an all-star, the first pick in the draft. The second pick in the draft has a 40% chance. The third pick, believe it or not, has a 56% chance, so more than the second pick. The fourth and fifth pick is 33 and 30%. The sixth pick is 20%. The seventh and eighth pick are 10th and 3%. Then for some reason, it spikes up again from 9, 10 to 11, 33, 26, and 16%. And then once you get to 12 and 13, there's a massive drop off to like 10, 10, and then the single digits. Right. So essentially, if you're a third pick in the draft, there should be a 56% chance that you being all-star. But realistically, you're looking at the first 10, 11 picks. If you pick within the first 10 or 11 picks, because pick 12 is a 3.3% chance. It's a big drop-off from, 9 and 10. It's really 9 and 10 because it's 11 is really 16%. 9 is 33%. So it's the top 10 pick, right? You have a much higher chance. And if you go down the list, like 25th pick, you have a 3% chance of being an all-star, right? So, the thing about tanking is that, to this standpoint about the Sixers, they missed on 60% of their picks. They missed, they still put together a perennial all-star team.
Right. Didn't matter.
They missed on Nerlens Noel. They missed on Jahlil Okafor. They missed on Markelle Fultz. They missed on 3 people. They hit 2. So they missed on 60%, and they're still a playoff contender. And like every year, and if they bring
100% of the shots you don't take, the Knicks don't take shots.
Listen,
they trade out.
He put up a tweet early this week talking about the players that we compare RJ Barrett to constantly: Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Ingram. RJ Barrett is under all 5 of those guys considerably. And he only measured it in the first 20 games of the year. So he looked at RJ's first 20 games, and 5 guys, 20 games, they all took a jump in year 4. RJ Barrett has regressed. Like, I don't care
I think we've reached 7:44. It's like 44 minutes in, but it's like this fan base. I'm not gonna just completely not tell you how to fan and then tell you how to fan.
Right.
shout out to Sean. He'd be doing that a lot, bro. He'd be like, I'm not gonna tell you how to fan.
Holy.
But we need to stop it. Everybody stop doing this. But I will tell you how to fan because I am very concerned. Okay, I'm very concerned with the way that a lot of people fan. I gotta say this, bro. Like when it comes to what was I even saying? I don't even know what I was saying. That shit tripped me up. What were you just saying, Ari?
Talking about the 5 guys that are better than Ari.
Oh, we literally compare the Knicks to like the Knicks of the past, as if that's the standard of our competition. Are we fucking dumb? Like, why does it matter that we have not had a good point guard in 20 years when Jalen Brunson is going up against 29 other point guards? Are we alive? Why does it matter that RJ Barrett's our best young prospect since Kristaps Porzingis? It doesn't matter. He's going up against competition in front of him. Why are you holding him to a standard of your fandom? It makes no sense. We have to win.
When they talk about the regime Poppa Left, they always compare to the Isaiah Thomas years. They compare.
It's ridiculous.
Compared to everything.
You're not competing against Isaiah Thomas. You're competing against Masai Ujiri. You're competing against Sam Presti. You're not competing against Phil Jackson.
Not your predecessors, right? Your contemporary.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's the whole fucking. It's the whole. They've been so bad. It's the happy with crumbs shit. That's all it is.
Yeah, I get it though. How could you even debate that,
bro? There's Dolan's reaction to how his team's been doing the last 3 years. They said he has an advisory board. They have people that talk to him on a daily. Bro, he can't see any positive in his regime. He has to be looking at an exit plan to get from underneath these guys. Go get Rob Hennigan from OKC, man. I keep saying it. Go get the dude from the Celtics. Go get somebody that understands how to run an NBA franchise. It's simple plug and play. These guys have an organizational mandate. You have examples of getting talent. These guys they've been in a bit known for putting to get a talent.
Edict. No.
Here's the thing. No. You know what really needs to happen? What really needs to happen, and the thing is Dolan's not a basketball guy, so he doesn't understand this, and he's probably surrounded by yes men that all have their own selfish motives. So what really needs to happen, the only way thing is going to change here, is if James Dolan should hire a basketball mind, like you said, Jay. All right, but before hiring them, he needs to understand their basketball philosophy. What is your philosophy? Now, the correct answer to that philosophy should be development, build through the draft, financial responsibility, keep the cap flexible, and try to build from there. That should be the philosophy. Now, to James Dolan, he needs to give that person he hires 4 years. Doesn't matter what the fuck this guy's record is. It could be fucking 10 and fucking 72. You get 4 years. I'm going to let you stick to your philosophy because we've never done it from the ground up, like legit. We only did it for 1 year. We never really did it. But Dolan has to give him that leash. So then that GM does not have the pressure to feel like he needs to keep his job and just do the win now thing. You know what I mean? It's like every president in the United States. They all run on the fact that they're going to keep the financial fiscal responsibility and they're not going to blow out the budget. And then every time another president comes in, from Trump, Obama, everyone, they fucking double the budget. They cause all this inflation. They go back on their word because they need to keep their jobs and they want things to be good now. That's the same.
I always say this, Ari, not to get political, but I always say the job of a president is to win your second term.
And it's also to
the job of a president is to win your second term.
And it's also to do whatever's in the best interest of yourself, not other people, obviously. So, yeah.
So before we get to the calls, I want to kind of get into the last week and what we've been watching, and I want to get into how Quentin Grimes has a 10 times higher ceiling than RJ Barrett. He's a way better athlete. He's an engaged defender. He's a very intelligent player in terms of basketball IQ. The guy runs circles around RJ Barrett. It's optics. He's a third pick. I get it. We got to invest in him, quote unquote. But Grimes is the man.
Not only that, bro. Here's what I want to say. I want to say this. So Heck Brizo, a legendary guy, right?
Heck, man. Sorry, Heck, for shitting on RJ.
No. I want to push back, and I also want to invite anybody to call from Spaces or call from Spaces, request a mic, and you can ask a question, you can debate us, whatever. But I want to say this, bro, about the offense, right? Jalen Brunson, when he was in Dallas, right? He literally could be the primary ball handler, especially with no Luka. So you had Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr., all these guys who play, Spencer Dinwiddie, like all these guys who could just play off ball, catch the ball with a pinch defense, catch, attack, a closeout, right? Catch, shoot, right? It's a very simplified offense, but Jalen Brunson's like with the best of them. Jalen Brunson can create his own shot with the best, and if he doesn't get to his spot and he doesn't like it, he's an intelligent basketball player. He will pass the ball, right? We are in an offense with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, who play the most with Jalen Brunson, who literally, both of them, Julius and RJ, wish in their best game, wish that they can have Jalen Brunson's game, which is pretty much get the ball, isolation, break someone down off the dribble, and score in the paint. So you have three, and shout out to Tommy D. I'm sorry, Ari. Like I didn't put you on the list. I'm sorry.
I like Tommy D. I actually like Tommy D.
So Tommy D is a little bit compromised, but when he's not compromised, he makes a whole ton of sense. And what he's been saying is this. The Knicks' problem right now, especially when it comes to RJ, right? Because RJ is the piece that I think functionally you want to move forward with just based off age, based off his ability to not fuck around and take a night off on defense or be upset. Like he's a normal team construct player, right?
Right.
You have Jalen Brunson with RJ and Randall. Until you get rid of Randall, RJ Barrett is going to be a casualty of being on an offensive lineup with three guys that do the same thing.
Yeah. That was not just a Tommy D take. That was my take also. Julius Randle enables trading Julius Randle doesn't only unlock Obi, but it also 100% will be listen, if they trade Randle and it doesn't unlock RJ, I'm done with RJ.
By the way, that's why when we talk about, Jay, you're starting a narrative about Quentin Grimes versus RJ Barrett. Jay didn't start the narrative. Leon Rose started the narrative when he was willing to trade RJ Barrett instead of Quentin Grimes. Wake up! Wake up! Because he knew that Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes go together better.
Yeah.
That's why he's Mr. Untouchable. Wake up!
Well, that's the thing that makes Quentin Grimes amazing. Is that that's why I think Quentin Grimes is amazing. He fits into like all 30 teams need a Quentin Grimes on their team. It's like he fits in anywhere. Doesn't need the ball.
Danny Ainge was like, I don't want RJ Barrett because I don't want to extend him. I don't want to extend him.
Yeah, because
and then Leon Rose is like, watch this.
He doesn't do anything. Like, listen, you made a tweet. You made a point last week, Poppa Left. You talked about shot creation and having shooters around Jalen Brunson. And absolutely correct, bro. Like, in the 2 games that we watched Grimes, bro, Grimes has set up his guys for 9 assists the last game. And literally got created his shot with ease, with absolute ease, quick twitch. Doesn't take a million seconds to dribble the shot clock out. This guy's an efficient, modern NBA guard. Point blank period, bro. He's a better fit with Brunson. He's a better fit moving forward.
Bro, the only difference in last night's game versus the Sunday matinee were 2 things, right? Instead of Derrick Rose and Evan Fournier not making Shea sweat, making Shea think about, hose post-game, making Shea think about what fit he's going to wear post-game against Derrick Rose and fucking Evan Fournier and RJ Barrett on a fucking high-temperature fever, right? He had to deal with fucking Deuce McBride, hungry as shit, right? He had to deal with fucking Quentin Grimes, fucking Jackrabbit, looks like he's on steroids, fucking following his ass all night, and that's why you won the game.
Absolutely, bro.
He's a weapon, bro.
Bro, the roster's a quick fix. Like Ari said, if you could eliminate Julius Randle and move around the options, right? Get guys intangible.
It's not all lost yet, but it's
bro. Even I'll say this. I'll say this. I've come to this clarity moment. I would rather get rid of Randle than get rid of Thibs because even Thibs just standing there and yelling, and he's like an old man, like just, that's grandpa. We'll take care of you, grandpa. Like, even if the Knicks just had a roster construction of Brunson, RJ, Grimes, Cam, Sims, Deuce, Obi, all these guys, if he just played these young guys, like, Thibs can't do shit about it. Like, he couldn't do shit about it, and the product would be fucking beautiful.
You see why
it would be watchable, it would be sellable, and it would be beautiful. But we did 2 things. We got rid of Fournier and Rose. Rose because of injury, Fournier because that's honestly one of the biggest things that's happened this year that nobody seems to care about to put 2 and 2 together. But
we didn't talk about that in detail. We have to discuss that. But the same thing. This is why Leon Rose is the villain for me, the number one villain for me. He's a bullshit. He re-signed and invested in Julius Randle and continues to put the ball in his court and continues to invest in him as a leader moving forward. And it's a complete incorrect way to build a team. Leon Rose is the issue. And until Knicks fans realize that, it's always going to be a problem. Now, back to the Fournier thing. He's officially benched. I get it. I heard somebody thank Tom Thibodeau. Sean thanked Tom Thibodeau for benching him yesterday. Listen, brother. Listen. Over the last couple years we've been watching the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau has yet to make a logical decision on his own. That was an organizational edict.
Alec Burks over Obi Toppin.
Right? That's the organizational edict to sit this guy, bro. You have to sit. If you want to see what's going on with your roster, Evan Fournier and Rose should not play another minute for the New York Knicks this season.
Bro, Evan Fournier being shut down, it almost leads me to believe that it's automatic that he's getting traded, bro.
He has to be. You can't tell me you're serious about really building something if you don't trade Evan Fournier and you don't.
Why would you play a guy that could get hurt? I don't know if. I think we're gonna have to attach him to match salary in the deal, bro. Ari, it's really getting to that point. Right. The Fournier DNP is like, we are definitely looking for a big time player to come in here. Because why else would he DNP?
That's all the signs. What it's pointing to because
of the money. Because we got
because of matching the money, which means that it's not going to be Julius Randle, which is the problem. But whatever. Besides that, yeah, that's what it probably means because I doubt they're just going to trade Evan Fournier for like a second round pick, even though that's probably what they should do. They're gonna the fact that they're trying to get another pick for quickly, and the fact that they're 500 and they're still in it, you know what I mean, and they still have all their draft picks, and they tried to pull off a thing. It's probably gonna happen, and that's when it's over. That's when it's all over. When they do that, if that person they're trading for is not fucking Giannis,
right,
Luka, Jokic, if it's not those three people, I don't give a fuck who it is. You're going to be a second round exit for the next 4 years, capped out of your mind. It's just going to be a fucking disaster.
So Mo asked, not Big Mo, but Mo asked, is there no star worth trading for in your opinion?
Not right now.
Yeah, I don't see one.
Not right now. If you're not going to trade for Spider was the best one out of all these guys, and even that, I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on Spider, Jalen Brunson.
But it's like, you know what? It's funny. It's like it's illegal. It's illegal in our mindset with these 13 draft picks and all these first round. It's like illegal. They're just like, just draft and get better.
Easy.
Yeah, it's like you have 3 picks. Like, yeah,
why not just draft? It's a foolproof strategy.
I don't get it, man.
You have 3 picks in the first round, like.
Reset the deals. You can trade the guys that you don't want to keep. I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. I see Tegs in here. And by the way, Emmanuel Quickly's been playing really well. He's been playing really well, being very professional. He almost looks like he knows.
Can I say something about Quickly real quick? Just real quick. Last year he had the best, I think, for 2 years in a row. But for last year, for sure, he had the best net rating and on and off of the team. And then this year, you look at it, and he's the number one guy, dude. So whatever it is, that's a serious sample size, and maybe we can't see it with the eyes, but you know what I think it is? I think that he's been a lockdown defender that could switch. He could handle the ball a little bit, and you at least have to guard him at the 3-point line. It opens up the floor for other people. So, but. You know, that's not nothing. This is not like just today. This is like 2 years in a row. It means something, man.
I just want to shout out. I want to shout out Teg real quick because Teg doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I like Teg.
I like Teg. I love Teg. Teg is quickly becoming my favorite account on Twitter, on Knicks Twitter, because Teg he's affiliated with the Knicks wall. I don't know what the business deal is there, but he's like he watches the whole Knicks walls. Like when you go in on Knicks wall, like orientation, there'd be like, here's your RJ Barrett wristband. like everybody praise RJ. I saw Alejandro was like, my Lord and Savior, RJ Barrett. Like fucking Sean was like, now that you walked yourself in a hole, I'm gonna bury you in it. Like just talking about someone who was just fucking talking shit about RJ today. Like Tag was like, yeah, this team sucks. We need a fucking tank.
Bro, all right, bro. Like you can't.
RJ Tag was like, yeah, y'all motherfuckers, yeah, it's fucking. I don't know how old Tag is, what nationality he is, but I fuck with him because he's like, yeah, this team sucks. We need a tank.
Whole fan base. We're entitled to have our own identity. We're entitled to have our own opinions, bro. The team is trash, bro. They beat up a G League team last night, man. That's all right, bro. Like, get over it, man. They beat Denver without Jokic, right? They beat a Suns team without Chris Paul. Like, they're beating teams that
They beat the Sixers.
No, they didn't beat. Relax, Jay. Relax. 4-1. It would be like Knicks porn on the timeline. Fucking ridiculous. But bro, no. What the truth is that we're a night off. We're a night off for other teams right now.
Absolutely, bro.
We're the 82 game season. We play the Knicks. Sorry. Oh shit, they're trying. Like
that's the funniest part. The Toxic Boys that's always talking about developing a team and drafting players and really doing this thing right. We gotta keep being short sighted. Crazy.
No, but this is the gas. This is the fucked up gaslighting as a Knicks fan the last 2 years. It's like, it's like when the young players are doing well, you'll have guys, and I love this guy. I love Jim Babcock. He's a great guy. I disagree with his Knicks takes a lot, but he'll be like last night, like the Knicks will play their young players, and I'm like, wow, I'm really enjoying this, and he'll be like, yeah, because it's a development. Like I'm like, shut the fuck up, Jim. You're fucking gaslighting.
His tweets bother me also. For sure.
and Stacey Patton was like talking about like, oh, is they play these kids? No, I said do it for a month straight. I'll fucking crack 12 eggs on my face, and I'll say I'm sorry. Like as soon as Derrick Rose gets healthy, is he gonna get back in this rotation? Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been played on like 4 or 5 teams, is he gonna play in this rotation over Jericho Sims? Like, come on, I
can't even explain to you how
we got our first caller. We got our Toxic Boy affiliate, JPEG, what's going on?
Hey, what's good, Toxic Boys? I appreciate y'all because y'all always keep it real. Poppa Left, you said the most important thing today. You said the most important thing to me. Knicks Twitter, they view the game as fans. The Toxic Boy Twitter, a lot of us who's been here forever, we view the team from a president perspective because we're looking at the long-term development to actually fucking contend eventually. That's what it is. You know, Knicks fans, they want to be entertained. They want to see RJ get his 20 on 20 shots. They want to see Brunson, get his 50% field goal percentage on 25. We want to see a fucking contender year after year, and we know this current structure of the team is nowhere next.
Can't do it the way it's constructed, bro. They can't.
They're capped out, and that's for any team that's capped out. There's 20 other teams, or let me say, there's 15 other teams like us in the NBA that's going nowhere. You got to be really, really good or really, really bad, and they said it. Like the 76ers, they did it the right way. Fuck it. They tanked the right way. They did it the right way,
Bro, Orlando and Detroit is looking at the rest of the NBA right now like, oh, like yes. Like, fuck yes.
Food, bro. They got Bobo for nothing, bro. Like, we got fucking Ryan Archidinaccio, fucking Nacho, man, whatever you want to call him on the goddamn end of the bench, bro, like wasting roster spots. And the Knicks have done this forever, wasting roster spots. There's so much young talent that they could be scouting fucking overtime right now, fucking, overseas right now, trying to get new talent in. But no, we got these random ass.
Can y'all hear him?
Absolutely.
You can hear him, but you can make it's a little slow, low.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Stick with it, man. Stick with it, cause we have to. Cause this is the truth. This is the truth.
Thank you, brother JPEG.
Good call.
Thank you, JPEG. First caller, Ari.
JPEG is the first caller of Toxic Boys history. Irfan, I don't know if he's in the chat.
Yo, he said
First
something
comment.
really, 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 really good. He said that the Toxic Boy Twitter looks at it from a presidential perspective, and that's absolutely correct.
Good. You look at it as like chess pieces, and they look at it as like who won the game.
We're like Jay-Z when he said no more throwback jerseys, man. We on to the next, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man. You got to be a futurist. You can't shake ass for victories.
Frankie V,
Like, you got to
Frankie
chill.
V with a good point right now. I'm going to share it. I made the same point, Frankie V. I don't know if you were here. Frankie's my old roommate. Your owner's got to be really tight with your GM to pull off the intentional tanking. That's exactly what I said. I don't know if you were here or not, but Dolan's got to hire a developmental, Presti type GM, but has to give him the 4 years to let whatever happens happen and give him the leash to do it. You can't expect wins when you're trying to rebuild.
Right.
So
Best episode so far, I think.
this one,
Yes.
not bad. Yeah.
We got a good group in here. We got a good group of fans.
No, you know what is funny? The callers that are going to call into this, like, I don't know if you were. I was watching Knicks fan TV last night. I heard like 3 of the worst calls in my life, back to back to back.
Well, CP must be tanking because he lost all the talent.
No, I still call in every day, bro.
Okay.
But I'm saying, when Max from the Bronx, they had this guy had the word, whatever. I don't have to get into
Bro,
it.
the fans now, here's the best part is like all I hear from Knicks fans is like, oh, you guys are just do narratives and agendas and narrative. Y'all literally talk about fans more than basketball. Y'all talk about the basketball game. Y'all talk. Max literally. I know how it is to call on Knicks fan TV. You call the number.
That was happening. He told me
You get on. I get it. You're cool with him, but I get on the phone. I get on the phone. You call CP's Google Voice number, and it goes boom. Block Talk Radio. You can now listen to the show, and then you're fucking sitting there.
Bro, he really the operator.
Bro, you sit there on Knicks fan TV for fucking an hour.
45
before you even get there.
That sounds like your guys' problem because I got the easy pass over there.
All right. But Max ain't got the easy pass because he came in there for fucking an hour into the show. And then you sit there for an hour. Imagine waiting on an hour for a show to talk about basketball, and your take for a 9-9 basketball team is, yeah, I'm Knicks Hive and I'm sick of the toxic boy. Y'all sat there for an hour of your life to get that take out? And we're the ones who don't talk about basketball.
Bro, I'll be listening to a lot of stuff, bro. And I'll be waiting for the takes, man. Yo, let's go into the schedule, man.
Jay, me and you, Ari's a hot boy, but me and you, Jay, we're committed men, right? So right. we commit to our lady. Ari's a hot boy. Ari's out here just slam a ding dong, right?
Yeah, Ari.
Like NBA hang time. Bro, Jay, I was with my fiance last night. You were with your lady. I got a text from Jay from Florida. He's like, yo, they talking about us on Knicks fan TV. I'm just like, y'all need to calm down. Y'all the one who are depressed. Y'all are the ones that need to do something with that energy, bro. I called and speaking about hives, right? Oh, I'm not all these Knicks fans pitting each other against. I'm not Cam Hive. I'm Knicks Hive, bro. I called after a Knicks loss against the Celtics on Saturday night. After a toxic caller called Knicks fan TV because we lost the game. We lost to the NBA champion Boston. So I called and I said, hey, Cam had a good game. RJ had a good game. iHeart had a good game. That's a win. Last night against the Sixers, we played like shit. We didn't learn anything. So, this is the intelligence that you got to come with if you want to be a toxic boy. And it's not, you can be converted. It's not that hard. But we're focused on the Larry O. That's what we're focused on.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so we got the Blazers coming up. We got the Grizzlies. We got the Pistons, and we got the Bucks next week.
How many games is it?
So from Friday. So Friday we got one. Sunday. Next show is Tuesday. The Pistons, and then the Bucks. So let's say we can go over 5 games. So I'll give you the 5 games one more time: Blazers, Grizzlies, Pistons, Bucks, and Mavs.
Those 5 games.
Wait, what are the games again? There's no Lillard, there's no Ja Morant, there's no Desmond Bane, so we could easily win those 2 games.
God, Ja Morant is out. Damn.
It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're either going to go 3-2 or 2-3 because that's the fucking mid of this team. So it doesn't matter to me.
They playing, so that's a dub. Morant, probably that's going to be a dub. Even though JJJ is back, Pistons is a dub. So they can win 3 straight games, and then they got the Bucks.
Memphis don't fuck around on defense, though. That's the difference. And I want to speak about something. Sustainability in terms of a game plan, like the product that you're rooting for. And I understand that Jalen Brunson is amazing. I get that part. Like, people hear my criticisms of Jalen Brunson on this roster and make it seem like I'm dissing Jalen Brunson. On this roster, he literally doesn't run an offense. He literally runs a read and react with 2 other read and react players, and the offense gets stagnated. And then you ask these players who are not defensive first-minded players to go back on defense against the first unit and play otherworldly efforts. It's not sustainable. If you're not hitting your shot, if RJ's not hitting your shot, if Randall's not hitting a shot, Mitch is whatever. Mitch is not concerned with one side of the basketball court. Okay.
He's not concerned with the basketball court. He's concerned with being injured. That's what he's doing.
I ain't talking about Mitch no more.
Yeah, Mitch
is irrelevant, bro. Until Mitch plays 30 minutes a night for like 60 games, I'm not talking about him, bro.
I like 3 games in a row. How about that?
Million, bro.
3.
Chilling. But yeah, I mean, it could be a decent week, man. I mean, you're right. Wiggs don't mess around on defense.
Don't you understand? A decent week is bad. That's bad for us.
Right.
That's going to make it more likely they're going to go for a win now move, which we know is not going to work, bro.
I said the longer they stick around 500, the more likely a win now move will happen. Poppa Left said it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's just logic, bro. These guys are Leon Rose and Worldwide West, they're not leaders. They don't know how to run an NBA team, and they're in charge of the most powerful fan base in the world, and they don't care. They don't do they contradict themselves. Poppa Left went through the whole interview with these guys for the last 2 years, and he contradicted every statement that he made. He has no interest in building an NBA team,
bro. And that's just 6. But bro, here's the thing about that, Jay. That's just 6 minutes of me being bored for free. Like, if you actually watch the entire group of Leon Rose interviews, like Star Wars, it's like mind blowing. You can watch it from the back. You can watch it. You watch it from 2022 backwards. You can watch it forward. It's just like nonstop contradictions, nonstop mixed messaging, nonstop gaslighting. It's so fucking painful, bro.
Bro, it's like guys don't have a resume to do anything worthwhile in the NBA franchise. Like,
hold on, we got a caller. We got Bankai. Bankai's calling in.
Yo, so you're taking Bankai's call for the first time ever right now.
That's right. And Bankai literally Bankai screens the call. So apparently I have inside information that I think it's Bankai. Bankai screen, and we'll call him KFTV Edgar for the sake of the family, right? Like he screens the call on KFTV. So Max apparently had a whole nother take that he was going to give. And then he got on the phone and he was like, yeah, we're 9-9 and I'm not Kim Hive. I'm Knicks Hive and I'm sick of these Knicks content creators.
He's actually Frank Hive, but he told
all right.
me
Bankai, it's your go. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, that is a fact. He did not want originally. He didn't say he was going to talk about that, so I'm kind of surprised as to where that came from. But I have a question for you guys. So, with Leon Rose and Worldwide West and all these guys, do you think they saw the Knicks being a vulnerable franchise and saw James Dolan, with his pockets, all fat and stuff like that, and they said, okay, you know what? We're gonna come in and we're gonna swindle this guy, get our money, and pretend that we can run or create a decent or good basketball franchise.
Yep.
Just get paid, or do you think they legitimately said, okay, you know what? We're gonna fix this, but in turn of that, they just fucked up.
No, I'm a little mixed on that. I'm gonna let Ari answer first because I'm a little mixed on it because I
have a good answer.
I'm not fully pessimistic because I think that they have. Bankai, go ahead.
Sorry, for example, I've heard before that some people, some front office people and per se, and so have looked at James Dolan and they see how willing he's open to open up the checkbooks right away and give people money right away.
Yep.
You're gonna get signed to like 10 years and give them these fat contracts so they could run the Knicks and possibly fix the Knicks, right? And I've heard that some people try to take advantage of that. So like they say like, oh well, you know what? We can do it. We can fix this franchise. We can get you to the mountaintop, right? And in reality, all these guys want to do is really just get their paychecks. And they're fixing the franchise from within. So you think they're doing that, or they think they legitimately meant to fix the franchise and are just fucking up because they don't really know what they're doing?
Bangkok, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so Leon Rose situation. Leon Rose is from the tri-state area, right? He's been an agent for 30 years, right? He's been one of the biggest agents in the game. Now, when you look at him, I heard he's getting paid $60 million over 5 years. Is what the streets are saying. He's in a situation where this is literally the easiest money he's ever made in his life, and he stumbled into it because now he's in a situation where the so-called agent is the popular thing to go get in the NBA franchise with Bob Myers in Golden State, with Rob Pelinka in LA. Cool, right? Now his old job was a lot of trekking the globe, right? Because when you're an agent, you gotta go sit on dudes' couches, you gotta go meet people's dads, you have to entrust an NBA career in a guy's hands. So you gotta go literally state to state. You gotta recruit guys, you have to scout guys, you have to figure out who you want to target as a client. Really hard job, right? Really difficult job. This guy's literally sitting down all day in Westchester doing nothing. He's doing nothing. He's doing nothing to make this team better. He has to go on an occasional road trip if they go out on the road for a couple weeks. Cool. But this is a way easier job than he's ever had his entire life. It's a complete money grab. This guy's not interested in building a contender. Go ahead, Ari, Poppa Left.
Ari, I'm gonna let you go, but I have a little bit of different take than Jay. I think I don't think he's doing nothing. I think he's doing just enough. But Ari, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that when he took the job, his job to James Dolan was to turn the franchise around and fix the culture of the franchise. I don't think it was to build a championship. I think it was to not be a laughingstock, fix the culture of the franchise. I think that was what his role was. So he didn't have to win a championship. He just needed to not be terrible and fix the culture. Because before that, it was Fizdale, and then Phil Jackson was craziness. Basically, get some stability in here. Because at that time, we were doing one-year contracts back and forth. Get some stability in here, right? Build a culture, and the apparent culture was, hard-nosed defense, Tom Thibodeau, disciplinarian, hold everyone accountable, all this stuff, and not necessarily get to a championship contender, but just turn it around from being a laughingstock to being somewhat respectable and heading in the right direction. I think that was his job. And he sold that. He's trying to sell that to the fan base as opposed to winning a championship because it's a lot easier to do. So that's what I think.
All right. I'll give my answer. So I've spent a lot of time watching Leon Rose interviews. By the way that this is going to go is Brownsville's going to go next. He's got a call, and then Deej is going to call next. We're going to, simplify this a little bit more going forward, but please do not.
Minutes left.
Okay, please just wait your turn and like treat it like a one person's going at a time, because we do have a show on YouTube. So, Leon Rose, you got to understand the genesis point of where he comes in. He comes in after a major whiff, right? Major whiff. You cleared the cap. You went for Kevin Durant. You went for Kyrie Irving. You went for Zion Williamson. You got 0 out of 3, right? So Dolan, everybody, the fans are like, you sold us this dream, and you didn't get us this dream. So then Steve Mills, and then the team sucks, right? The team is just bad, right? So you have to get rid of him, right? So Leon Rose comes in here with his cachet. He's a name. He's an agent, Worldwide West, who's worked with him in CAA for 13 years, build relationships. He's a name. He's an agent. And it's kind of like played out because it's not really relevant in the modern day. But Leon Rose came in there and said, what you just experienced with Steve Mills and what you just experienced with Scott Perry, it will not happen with me. I got the connections. I will get the guys. Now, how he goes about getting them is he says, hey, we're going to build this the right way. We're going to get draft picks, and we're going to rebuild. And he sells the rebuild. And to his credit, he has gotten the one hire that he's made that's been really good is Walt Perrin. Unfortunately, they just don't let Walt cook. If you just let Walt Perrin cook with all these draft assets and don't star chase, you actually have a sustainable product that can cash in whenever on your terms. Like, look at the Thunder. They can cash in on their terms.
Right.
We have to cash in on other people's terms because we haven't really hit that point of really committing to building to the draft. So Leon Rose is literally here doing a half-ass good job and a half-ass terrible job, and that's why the team is 9-9 because he hasn't fully committed to the development. He's prioritizing the play-in over development. He in all these sound bites that I have of Leon Rose, right? Every single soundbite, he keeps saying,
If there's an edict this year to make sure
listen,
they get minutes.
An edict? No, there's no edicts. Hey, we love our young players too, believe me. But there's no edict. Thibs decides who plays, how many minutes, what the rotations are. And, there's one thing I know about Thibs. He's going to make decisions based on who's going to help us win a basketball game.
Bro, do you think Sam Presti is fucking saying that, bro? Like, hey, one thing I know about my coach, he's going to make decisions to win the basketball game. We're not going to play our young players. Like, what? Like that's the biggest thing is that he has the right. He's hiring all these different people, but his biggest ask is to get a star. And instead of looking at this with true foresight and true balls to just say, hey, you know what? It's not the time to do it. He's benching Evan Fournier, not because he wants to get the young players more minutes. You don't want to fuck up that contract because he's going to move it in a deal. And he's shopping Emmanuel quickly for another piece, another first-round pick to hoard picks so he could throw it out a star.
Right.
But anyways, I want to get to the caller. Ari, you want to say anything?
Go Browns.
No, you can get to the caller. It's fine.
All right, let's go to Brownsville.
Hey, real quick, thank you. I appreciate the answers.
No problem, Bunkai. No problem. Brownsville, what's going on?
On Poppa Left, what's going on, Toxic Boys? Jay from Florida, Ari from Manhattan. Yo, I respect y'all, man. Y'all doing a wonderful job. Y'all creating great content. And it's much needed, man, for this Knicks Twitterverse. Even though, I don't always agree with everything, I still listen and learn from you guys because you guys are geniuses, man. So I want to just give you y'all flowers.
Thank you.
Salute, bro. That's amazing. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me in the past 25 years. But salute to you, Brownsville.
I got a question, brothers. Since y'all brought up Sam Presti and since y'all brought up GMing, right? So I want to get y'all analysis on this. So Sam Presti, he decided that it was time for OKC to rebuild. In 2019, he traded Paul George. Now, to his credit, when he traded Paul George in 2019, which was 4 years ago, he got the player asset back that was SGA. That was a genius move. He gets all the credit in the world for that, right? But the media and everybody spent the narrative that he acquired a treasure trove of assets and they're going to be able to do X, Y, Z. But 4 years later, right, it's just still SGA. I know they got Josh Giddey and they got Poku and they got Chet and all that shit, but right, those guys are just guys for right now. SGA is the star. You know what I'm saying? And 4 years past that, he didn't get another star.
So the point you're making is yeah.
Hold on, I just want to continue, and then I want to hear y'all answer for it, right? So now when you look at Leon, right? Leon, and I'm not trying to defend him because I don't agree with everything he's fucking doing because to me, he's not prioritizing the players the correct way. You guys are 100% correct on that. He's been fucking up in regards to that. I totally agree with that. But when you look at what he's acquired so far, he acquired Jalen Brunson, which I totally disagree with you guys on Jalen Brunson. I think he's going to be an all-star this year. Also, he acquired Cam Reddish. Now, I don't put Josh Giddey above Cam Reddish as far as a talent or Poku. I think they all are along those same lines. So this is his third year. When you compare it to Sam Presti's rebuild in OKC, this is his fourth year. What do you guys see is the difference there other than this? All right, you talk about the edict, right? I believe in OKC because it's a small market, and in Oklahoma, that's all they have is the Thunder. They don't got shit else besides collegiate sports, okay? So they're going to support that team regardless. I think an edict comes from Dolan that whoever takes over running the Knicks
Okay, they have an
That's
edict
Ari.
that they have to win, right? So my question is, besides the edict, as far as with James Dolan trying to win, what do you guys think is the difference between what Sam Presti
That's an
is
Ari
doing
one.
at OKC
I know the answer to that.
versus what Leon is doing with the Knicks?
All right, I have a good answer for that. I think so. Sam Presti knows that you don't throw your chips that you've acquired. You don't throw your chips in the middle until you know you have a team that is ready to win now. So what this guy is doing is he's stacking draft picks and he's making good picks. So you already know they have two long-term pieces. They have SGA, they have Giddey. He would have probably liked to see what Chet Holmgren was like. That's going to delay this process a little bit more. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to build a team that's going to be, you know, a playoff team, like a firm playoff team, right, by drafting the talent. And then once he's got that firm playoff team, then he's going to cash in all those draft picks, bring in a superstar, and that's what's going to get him over the top. So the reason why it's been that long is because, you know, this is the SGA's first year where he really kind of like, you know, blossomed and took that step. You know, Josh Giddey's already right there, but the team is still not necessarily where it needs to be in order to make that all-in win-now move. And he's trying to make those picks and trying to finagle it to get to that point. And once he's at that point, then he's going to do the all-in moves. Now, they're a lot closer than we are as a fan, because they have, you know, Giddey and Josh Giddey and SGA are both, I don't care what anyone says, I would take Josh Giddey long-term, probably over Jalen Brunson, and obviously SGA you definitely would. So they already have two guys right there that you would take. Chet Holmgren, like if Chet Holmgren balled out this year and was like a really good player, like balling out, Sam Presti would trade those picks, at least some of those picks, and bring in a superstar, and then he'd fucking really try to compete. That's what he's doing. But he's got to wait.
Hold on. Let Ari. So now juxtapose it to Leon Rose.
So Leon Rose,
in terms of Dolan, I think Brownsville mentioned Dolan in terms of the construct of Oklahoma City, kind of like having the patience for it.
Yeah, they have the
and
patience
Dolan
for it.
having an edict for putting a competitive product.
Right. Listen, it's only hearsay. Like, we don't actually know what the conversation Dolan and him had, but if you just look at all the decisions that they've made, and just, you know, from James Dolan's perspective, like you know, this is a business. I'm not really trying, like, as long as it performs well or whatever, like, that's it. He doesn't give him the edict, and Leon Rose puts more pressure on him to win now, as opposed to whoever the owner of the, you know, the Thunder are. Because when the owner of the Thunder took Presti, they knew like what type of mentality this guy had, right? And you have to give him the leash, and he's giving him the leash. But the Knicks are the Thunder are far closer to a championship than the Knicks, because they have the two best players already, and they've doubled the draft picks, and they're fucking second round.
Let me ask you a question. SGA asks out. How does that reflect on Sam Presti's plan?
If SGA asks out, how does that reflect on his plan? Then he's probably going to have to sell them and just get more draft assets. And then just
would they be farther along at that point with all those assets than the Knicks?
No, at that point, they would still be further along, because they'd have now. How many picks do they have right now?
Can I?
Go ahead.
Imagine getting another five
Jason Florida's
picks.
raising his hand. Go ahead.
Answer that.
Go ahead, White Jay from Florida.
38 draft picks, 19 first round and 19 second rounders. I don't think they'll ever be in the game, and I don't think they ever attempt to get a superstar. Ari, I just don't think Sam Presti plays the game that way. I think he's going to weaponize his picks to be able to trade up into drafts and target players that he wants to build around the guys that he already got. So I feel like he's just going to trade up. He's going to target guys. He might be the 15th pick because he got all these random picks all over the draft. He might package 2 first rounders to get into the top 10 again.
And he has players he's drafted like Williams and those.
Yeah, but he still has enough picks to get a superstar too.
Yeah,
I don't
do both.
That game. I think
he has all the leverage. There's no GM in the league that has more leverage.
You see his 19 first round picks?
He got 38 picks total, 19 first round, 19.
Well, he has 19 first round picks, Papa, and they trade SGA. That's now another 5 picks. That's 24 picks.
Right, but I think what Brownsville's getting at is that When the goal is to win a championship, and if you are starting a player who's blossoming into a superstar and he has no other players around, and I agree with you on Josh Giddey, but we'll get into that another universe. But if you have a player in SGA that's blossoming into a superstar and he becomes disgruntled, now you're on this never-ending cycle of developing a player.
5 first-round picks. Now you only have 14. Bring him a star, and then use those 14.
Right.
He's so
no.
set.
You could reset. You could reset it all the time. But the problem is the results do matter, right? You have to cash in. You have to cash. So
he's gonna cash in eventually.
Okay. All right.
He got the option to cash in. At least
he could cash in and move up. He could cash in and still have more picks than us.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have Paul George and prime Russell Westbrook on your team, and instead of trying to make another win now move and push to get it to win a championship, you realize you do not have enough on this team. Sell these players at their high value. They got 6 first-round picks from Paul George. How many did they get from Russell Westbrook? This was like 2 years or like a year or two removed from like MVP like Westbrook. How many did they get for him? 5. Like,
thank you for the call, Browns. It was a great conversation. Thank you for the call. Let's go. Let's close. Thank you, brother. Peace.
Oh, bro.
Definitely. Great call.
We're
going to close with King Deej. Deej, unmute your mic.
Yo, peace and love to the room, man. I always show love to Ari, Poppa Left, and Jay from Florida. That's my guy come draft time. I actually got Creighton versus Arkansas on the TV. It's muted, but I just wanted to show love to y'all 3. And, just wish that y'all adventure takes off, because I think this is pretty dope that you're on YouTube and on Twitter. Spaces running at the same time. I think that's going to take off for y'all 3 gentlemen, man. So I'm proud of y'all. I just wanted to say
Poppa Left phenomenon. The Spaces YouTube.
Let's just make sure everybody goes to the first part of the Jumbotron and hit subscribe before we take Deej, get us a proper intro. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Support is free.
No doubt. Run it up, man. Support is free. Love is love, man. I'll definitely hop on the YouTube as soon as I get off of here and subscribe my damn self.
Can I just say one thing before he starts, just real quick?
Yeah.
Really quick. So Jay from Florida used to call in to Knicks Fan TV and say, run it up. And Deej started saying, run it up. And then Jay from Florida now says, peace and love to the room, the way King Deej used to say peace and love. And they literally flip-flopped intros.
Shout out to my boy, man. Always, man.
That's the best form of flattery, man. I think Jay from Florida, man.
Jay from Florida, what'd you say?
King Deej is like my favorite basketball mind on Twitter, man. Shout out to him, bro, because he got actual.
Oh God.
He always has information to back up his take. So shout out to you, my brother.
No doubt, man. And I think me and Jay was just like on different terms about different things, but we kind of stayed consistent. Like we both didn't want no Halliburton. I know Halliburton's balling right now, but he wasn't balling from the jump, man. With that being said, though, I just want to bring up like the news about IQ. And I just want to make people feel better if you're listening to me on the YouTube or on Twitter Spaces. There's 5 point guards after the top 15 that are all 6'6". I'm watching one of them right now. His name is Anthony Black, Arkansas. Right now, he just came off of a game where he dropped 26, 3, and 6 with 11 shots, 3 for 5. And right now, he's balling in this game. He's got 10 points in 11 minutes, 3 for 5, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. So I get Emmanuel quickly as like the chosen one for the Knicks. But like when you have Brunson here, who's the best assist to turnover ratio point guard in the league, and he's also on a $100 million contract, and then you also have to factor in that
no room. He can't start, and he's gonna want to start.
Right, and you also have to factor in that Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish, and RJ Barrett. Our Leon Rose is in the management. That's their prized possessions. I mean, RJ's number 3, Obi's number 8, and they traded literally the only kid on this roster they traded a first round pick for. Everybody else they traded to move back. So like they clearly have a vision where it's RJ, Obi, and Cam. That's the only reason why they're not putting Obi in his conversations. So I think if you have to sacrifice IQ to get rid of Evan Fournier's contract or Derrick Rose's contract, yes, they're almost declining and the years are off. But the Knicks are a very, as Jay from Florida would say, very public image. So they can't just have $73 million playing DMPs. As Knicks fans, it's A-okay with us. I have no fucking problem with that. But for them, they always have to rationalize and explain everything. So I think IQ will be the sacrificial lamb with all those reasons combined. And, no disrespect to IQ. I love IQ. Defensively, he's great. Offensively, he comes and goes. But in order for us to be better as a team collectively, we need to get better talent in here that fits one another.
Absolutely.
So all these point guards in this draft that aren't in the top 20. I mean, Anthony Black is listed as pick number 18.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get better talent that can play with RJ and Obi and Cam and Brunson,
Mm.
and I think it's all about those four guys. I think it's best that they get an additional pick and see where they could. I don't know what they're going to do with those picks. I'm not even going to try to guess anymore. Leon Rose he's driving me fucking crazy. It's probably
We know what they're doing with that pick. We know.
Yeah, he's probably going to trade it for a star. But with that being said, at least I can.
Bro, when Mike Breen asked Leon Rose, "Hey, do you have like a certain type of a player that you want to get?" And Leon Rose, when he first came in here, and I'm not going to shit on Leon Rose. Leon Rose, like in terms of like his admission of it, he's like, "Look, this was his answer." He said, "Look, I'm not even, to tell you the truth, I'm not even at that point yet. Like, I'm sure when I get my people in the room and we'll discuss what kind of talent we want." But like, that's the point. He's really not groomed to do this job. He's really not like really qualified to fucking do this job. He has to hire people that are qualified to do it for him. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think I think somebody brought up Walt Parent, but I think it was you, Poppa Left.
Yeah.
Joined. But if Leon Rose was just like the president,
A figurehead,
didn't make any of the decisions, and it was Walt Parent and Brock
be
Osborne,
fucking solid.
I would feel much better about.
I wonder, Deej, you know what I wonder? I wonder what that war room was like when they got the 11th pick and they were trying to move up for Jaden Ivey, right? And I wonder what it was like with like all that talent between Keegan Murray and Jaden Ivey and Mathurin and Shaden Sharp. I wonder what the conversation and then having the pick and drafting Usman Dang and then trading back and not drafting Jalen Duren and just trading out to get Cap and to get more picks, right? Like, I wonder what that conversation was like. That I would love to be on a fly on the wall in that room.
I know what the conversation was like. It was basically get off all these don't take as little salary as possible. Don't draft anybody. Get everyone gone so you have enough cap space to sign Jalen Brunson.
It's so nuts because they could have just let Mitch walk and do the same thing.
They could have traded him and not even let him watch. They could have traded him for something. A second-round pick, a first-round pick, or like a young guy reclamation project. You could have got something for the fucking guy, but they didn't want to trade him.
It's unexplainable, Ari and Poppa Left and Jay, because like to me, this was my opinion. Again, I'm not right or wrong, but like you could have found, like how Poppa Left just said, you could have found other ways to get Jalen Brunson here, like signing trades. They're still missing the Dallas Mavericks are still missing a fucking center. Newsflash, like they need a center. They're struggling, and it's funny that their pick is the highest value pick out of all the picks that we have right now. It's number 12. So like even though Luka's Luka, they're still struggling in the West. So you could have did a signing trade. I don't know. The fact that they traded back twice and then like, okay, you got Jalen Williams, that kind of bothers me. Like that kind of bothers me a lot.
No, Deej, it's like it's the 3-man draft thing from last year really ticked me off, bro. The idea that it's a 3-man draft in any draft I don't like when people say shit like that because.
Me and Jay from Florida were fighting for our lives, and I'm gonna stop talking because y'all gotta close the show. I'm sorry, Papa.
Yeah.
Like me and Jay from Florida was fighting for our lives, telling people like this draft is really good. The draft that just happened, it's like there's a good 15 players, and they were like, no, it's only 3. Now everybody's fast forward, and everybody's in love with Keegan Murray and embedded in Mathurin, and there's people that are killing Keegan Murray. We was talking about him. And Shady's out here getting praise from Damian Lillard, saying that he's the star of the Blazers.
He's the nicest one, I think.
Bro, he's really good. He's really
he's the nicest one, I think.
And he'll be in MSG on Friday.
I'm going to that game. You know that? I'm going to the Blazers game. I'm going with Moselle.
We're gonna stop wasting our time, Deej. One day they'll stop wasting our time, bro. Like
the idea. This is what I want to say this about development, right? And I'm not going to go through the list again, but I told you guys how one minute.
All right.
I got you. I told you how there was 20 rookies in the NBA that were averaging more minutes than third-year Obi Toppin, and how like insane that thought in itself is. But but when you talk about this world, right? This world is an evolving world. It always is changing. People are always finding new creative ways to enhance their performance, right? The new basketball talent that's coming into the league is forever evolving. Like it's forever getting better. Like guys, like when I met with Quentin Grimes, coach, like, dude, this guy's been groomed to be in the NBA since he had freckles on his face, bro. Like he's been groomed since he had little pimp. Like he has the acne still. He's not the best guy to fucking do, but this guy's in 8th grade. Hey, Quint, don't fucking hang around these guys. Don't hang around these kids like fucking on the team bus talking about all this bullshit. Like, yo, you don't get involved in all this bullshit. You're going to the NBA. Like this is the involved talent. Like the work that Quentin Grimes put in so much work in the offseason that he probably got hurt. And like the whole fucking young talent that's coming up in the world of trying to make the NBA, like this is a dream beyond a dream. It's like everyone's getting better. And they have multiple talents to evolve from. They have Steph Curry. They have Giannis. They have Jokic. This is a global enterprise.
That's a fact. They got Paul George. A lot of wing players mastered their game.
Bro, I was watching How to Build an NBA Champion on YouTube. I was just searching around, just looking at shit. And it's like, bro, there used to be a dynamic. And this is why the Mitchell Robinson signing, I'll never understand it. Like, there used to be, and Ari can attest to this, like there used to, and Jay, it used to be that in order to win an NBA championship, what did you need? You needed a center, right? You used to really need a big man, or you couldn't survive. You needed Hakeem, you needed Patrick, you needed Tim Duncan, you needed Shaq, right? And then you had your anomalies, right? You had Michael Jordan, right? If you have Michael Jordan, you don't need a center, right? If you have Steph Curry, you don't need a center. But normal teams need wings, right? And a big man. Now you don't even need a big man because there's no point. The game's being played from the 3-point line. The game has evolved. Why the fuck are you paying $15 million a year to Mitchell Robinson? You don't even need him half the games. Ben Simmons is starting center.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
Because of rim protection is the argument.
I just got 2 things to say to y'all before I leave. Again, I want to shout out to y'all 3. Y'all doing great, man. I continue to pray for y'all for much more success, man. It's awesome what y'all doing with YouTube and Twitter. And please, if you're listening, just turn on ESPN. Do not watch the Sixers versus the Nets. Turn on ESPN. Pay attention to Anthony Black.
Well, I'll watch the Sixers versus the Nets if it's in Philly.
It's in Philly.
Okay, that's a watchable game.
It's on right now. It's on TNT.
All right. They play right now.
I just want to say that to y'all too, man. To y'all 3, man.
I watched the Arkansas game because I want to see prospects. These.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love me some Anthony Black. I ain't gonna lie, man. It made me feel much better about the IQ news today. But again, I just wanted to say that to y'all 3, man. Peace and love.
Salute to you, Deej. Salute.
State called Jay from Florida a crack abuser for comparing Lou Dort to RJ Barrett.
Yo, Poppa, let me say one thing real quick. So
right,
we have 294 subs. We're 6 subscribers short from the goal of getting to 300. So if you're listening in the spaces, or if you're on the YouTube channel.
How many we got in spaces? I'm not in spaces. How many?
I don't know. Poppa, how many we got in spaces?
How many we got? We got 29 people in here. So we just need like literally fucking 20% of the people in here. Yeah. So everybody go up. There's a Jumbotron. I'm sorry. I'm going to take these down, Deej. I love you, but
we only have 35.
Knicks fans don't give a fuck about a rebuild, so we're removing these tweets.
Hold up. If I subscribe, does my super chat get read?
Yeah, no, you have to say, but in order to get the super chat read, you have to put a $0.0. Pastor Claudio will show you how to do it, but you have to show that it's worth nothing, like you're not paying for it. But if you look up at the Jumbotron, all you got to do is click that link and hit subscribe. You may not be able to do it if you're signed onto your phone and not signed into YouTube, but just copy that link, man. You want to see us live. We're 705 subscribers away from CP the Franchise. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're getting CP the Franchise on here. I have DMs with Ashley Nicole Moss. Ashley Nicole Moss is committing to coming on the Toxic Boys, but we're not just gonna give you guys Ashley Nicole Moss for fucking, hey, you know, we got 350 subscribers. We might need to do that like 700, maybe 900 for the 9 God for RJ Barrett.
Yeah, it's given 900.
Yeah. But we got a couple special guests because, you know, contrary to popular belief, people actually fuck with us. Like people actually people actually like me, Ari, and Jay. So
I just subscribed to y'all, brothers.
Definitely.
There we go.
Keep up the good work.
That's it. That's it. Keep the train.
We're one away, Papa. We're one away. Literally one away.
We're one subscriber away from 300. I think EH30 is already subscribed. Phil Porto, by the way. Phil Porto is quickly I didn't know how I missed him.
Killed it yesterday.
Unbelievable. He bounced out of here. I think maybe he went to go subscribe. But
here's a new commenter. Aldi Joka. I think it's Aldi Joka. Hopefully they try to trade up in the draft. That's what Jay from Florida wants. Aldi, like, subscribe, and share. Welcome to Toxic Boys. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm gonna do closing thoughts real quick, I'll just give mine.
Yeah, we're definitely at that point.
Let's wrap it up.
Yep.
Let me just see if I got that one more extra. We got 301. Mazel tov. That's what we say.
There you go.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Shit.
Salute to everyone here. So yeah, my closing thoughts are, listen, man, it's tough because you don't want to root for your team to lose, but the more this team stays 500 and the more I hear about Emmanuel Quickly being traded for a first-round pick, or the more I hear about, trying to make a win-now move and all this stuff, the saving grace of this front office, and the only saving grace of this front office, is the fact that they have not mortgaged the future yet. The second they mortgage their future to pair Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Zach LaVine, and RJ, or whatever that is, when they do that, I'm telling you that team is not going to win a championship. It's not even going to get to an Eastern Conference Finals, except now you're in a position where you don't even have any draft picks and you have no way to build your team, and you're stuck like the fucking Los Angeles Lakers. So, these teams are not philosophically built. It's not like Sam Presti has a philosophy, right? This team is more reactionary. If we suck, let's consider, rebuilding maybe. And if we're competitive, let's try to push for the playoffs. Right now we're competitive, and so they're trying to push for the playoffs. So if the only way to stop this front organization from making a premature win-down move, which is the number one reason why this team has not won in 23 years, it's because of making premature win-now moves at the cost of your future before you're ready to actually compete.
You mean Antonio McDyess wasn't a good trade?
No, of course not, dude. You have to, listen, there's some guys in the league like Luka, like Giannis, there's like Tatum, maybe 5 guys maybe where you
trading a couple first-round picks for Eddie Curry wasn't smart?
Yeah, no, it was not smart. None of that was smart. That's what this team will be if we trade for a star, and it's like we can't have that happen. So, I'm kind of miserable right now because I think it is probably going to happen, man. So
Ari, you're not miserable. You just you're basking in the glory of the World Cup, and you're actually watching something meaningful. And then you turn on Knicks Twitter, and people are like, "Jalen Brunson."
That is, and also, listen, the most important, the worst thing about it is how many times, it's like kind of what happened over the summer. It's like, are we getting Spider? Are we not? And I don't know how these motherfuckers, how you guys talk all day, every day about the same thing. It's like, how many times do you want to hear me, Poppa Left, and Jay from Florida say, trade Randall, fire Thibs, fire Leon Rose, bring us the
I think today was a really good show because I think we established the brand a little bit even more, where it's like, we're looking at it from and I think JPEG said it best. You guys might be looking at it from a fan perspective, like a stat sheet perspective. We are looking at it from a presidential perspective, like how we get the Larry O. That's all we're concerned about. How do we get the Larry O in Madison Square Garden?
Listen, there's still hope, but they need to make the right move. So let's pray to God that they do it.
A quick listen. The Knicks last year, though, like Art was saying, they don't understand the concept of rebuilding. They don't understand the pivot, right? You got a front office last year that was done after the Brooklyn game, and you doubled down. You almost hurt RJ twice, right? You put yourself in a situation where you didn't go for a better draft pick to draft a player that you identified in Jalen Duren. Not Jalen, I'm sorry, Jaden Ivey. Bro, it's just sadness over sadness over sadness. It's just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. The only saving grace, like Ari said, they have yet to mortgage their future. But once that happens, these guys are done. The contracts are terrible. That's it. The coach is terrible. That's it. Once they trade the draft picks, that's it, bro. I don't want to hear anything positive about Leon Rose ever again, man. That's it, man.
Yeah. Just quick question before Papa, you close it. Jay asked this question. Who's your favorite young player on the team? So I'll go first. My favorite player, not who I think is the best, but my favorite player, because I used to identify with him a lot, especially the way I used to play basketball, is Emmanuel Quickly, because I just love his confidence, his moxie, and I just love that he's fearless. So he's my favorite player. Although if I had to pick who the best player, who the best young player is on the team, I don't even think it's close. I think it's Quentin Grimes. That's my take.
Yeah, Grimes, man. Grimes looked good last night. My favorite young player is Cam always. But Grimes, man, with that pop, just his basketball IQ, his defensive ability, his shot creation, his passing ability, having that point guard experience, bro. Grimes is a beast, bro. He's a beast. I give it to him.
I'm going with Derrick Rose. I'm going with Derrick Rose. Windy City Assassin 79 on Twitter told me that the Knicks young talent is shit and we should be playing Derrick Rose 35 minutes. So, Derrick Rose has a loyal bunch, man. It is like QAnon times 20.
I think his toe injury is fake, but that's a conversation for another day.
I don't know about that, Jay. That's a serious one, because saying Derrick Rose is a fake injury is I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's a coincidence. Him and Fournier sitting and they trying to.
It is. I honestly think people will talk about Jalen Brunson playing well. They'll talk about RJ having a slow start. Undoubtedly, in my mind, the biggest story of this year is Evan Fournier getting DNPs, bro. That has tea leaves all over the place. That is something to pay attention to, man.
You didn't answer the question. Who do you think responsible for getting Evan Fournier bench? And then we'll get out of here.
Oh, that's coming down from the top, bro.
From who?
That's coming down from the top. That's not a Thibs thing, bro.
Who's it coming from?
I think it's coming from Knicks.
I think it's coming in from a cap perspective, and I think it's coming in from Wes, and I think it's coming in from the pressure of people talking to Leon Rose, basically saying like, bro, like he keeps playing Evan Fournier, like he's fucking terrible, bro. And then they probably said like, look, we're looking to trade Evan. We don't want to get him hurt. Want to get a look at Quentin Grimes, right? We don't want to create this logjam. We got Cam and I wouldn't be surprised if Cam gets moved, bro. I wouldn't be surprised. I know that Deej said that they're looking to build around Cam and Obi. I've yet to see. By the way, I didn't really get into my lineup takes, but Brunson needs to play with shooters, bro. He needs to play with more shooters. Like, this idea of him playing 30 minutes of basketball with RJ and Randall is disgusting.
Bottom basement of IQ NBA players, bro. Like, they're like the stupidest player.
I'm just saying we need if Brunson's going to be our best player, high IQ player, and then surround him with the right combinations of talent. And it doesn't have to be the starting five every night. Yeah. It literally could be. You could throw him with Quick. You throw him with Grimes. You throw him with Sims. You space out the floor. You get unselfish players that play together. And then Jalen Brunson does, his defense, you could hide him on a less effective guard, and you can let Grimes and Cam and Obi and all these guys run out on the floor and play exciting basketball. We don't have to play them with RJ and Randall every night.
It's so frustrating because literally, before we close it out, like I was saying, like this team is not like if you can trade Julius Randle, right? And then, play RJ Barrett by year. But I'm saying, dude, you still have all your draft picks. You have that cap space. And then after next year, not only is Randle off the books, but so is Fournier. You have cap space, right? You have Cam, you have Grimes, right? You have Jalen.
Just say it. It would be an enjoyable product, and you'd
have the draft picks. You'd be able to sign a free agent and then trade for a star.
It would be really fun. It could get really fun out here.
Fucking crazy. Make the right move.
Yeah, man. My final thoughts is that we need to as a team kind of develop a consistent identity of what we want to do. And I think we saw it last night when you had the summer league lineup of Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride, Obi Toppin, and Jericho Sims. Those guys love each other. Those guys play for each other. Those guys represent New York City.
Absolutely.
They may not. They were a -1 while they were out there. They're not going to be the cleanest, crispest. They get the open shot. Are they going to hit it every time? Probably not. But that's something that are all rookie scale deals. They're all manageable. They all play the right way. They all play for each other. And I think you need to incorporate some of that energy into the first unit. I think, we won't see it because Randall has to start. RJ has to start. But I just don't believe, if we're going to say, Poppa Left, you're wrong. You're wrong. Jalen Brunson is a point guard. He does make people better. Then let him operate in a space where he can make other people better. You can't make RJ better as a 3-and-D. You can't. You can't make Julius Randle better if he has no interest in being better. Those two guys are interested at right now. It's a lot of pressure on RJ to hit 20 a night. There's a lot of egotistical pressure on Julius Randle to assert himself as the leader of the team. If you just let Jalen Brunson run with these young guys, with Cam and Quentin Grimes, and throw an RJ there, but you can't. I'll say this again. Until Julius Randle is gone, RJ Barrett is a casualty of Julius Randle's presence, bro. I know a lot of people think that that's enabling or I don't think so. I think literally it's a fact. Like RJ has individual goals. He's that type of player. And if he's not getting 20 and 5 and 5, if he's not doing that, he gets the heat. And I don't know if at this point if it's appropriate to do that to him. For right now, the way that we could play basketball, which is completely get the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands, spread out, dish, attack the closeout. That's where RJ would be great. Get out in transition, play defense, make the right passes. We don't need this read and react bullshit. We really don't need it. And like I said, man, I think tonight was a great show because I think it really hammered home the purpose of these conversations, man, which is pretty much looking at it from a front office's perspective and understanding that we as fans we're not evaluating our talent to pit each other against, our own teammates or to pit. We definitely shouldn't be pitting them against old players that they're 7 years old Knicks. Like, why should I evaluate Jalen Brunson against Emmanuel Mudiay? Why should I evaluate Jalen Brunson against Shane Larkin? There's 29 other teams out there of real actual talent that he goes up against every night. So I think the biggest thing is that this front, it's not the fans. It's not Jay from Florida. It's not Ari from Manhattan. It's the front office that has to pit these players against each other because they can't all fit here for 15 years in a row and win a championship.
Evaluation,
bro. It's the conversation that we are somehow like creating agendas against other. That's insane. It's insane. The front office's job is to figure out. I have Cam Reddish. Am I giving him a contract? I have Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin do a contract at the end of next year. Who gets the bag? Like I have Quentin Grimes. He needs to play. Evan Fournier's here. We're pitting those two players against each other. The fucking Golden State Warriors had to let go of Otto Porter, let go of Gary Payton, let go of Damian Lee, let go of all these different players.
They've been doing that beyond that. They let go of Monte Ellis. That was their all-star
guard. But it's not even. But Jay, it's not even that. These are. Like I said, the most important move of this season has not been Jalen Brunson balling out. We already knew that. It's not been RJ going through his struggles. We already knew that. The biggest story of this year that nobody is talking about, is that Evan Fournier in the second year of a 3-year, $54 million deal has been sat on the bench like with no stipulation to play. Like D Rose goes down, Cam Reddish goes down, Fournier is done. That is that is a tea leaf moment of a tea leaf moment. That is very interesting to me.
Just
So
finally a meritocracy. Finally,
but it's not just the meritocracy. It means that that his contract is being held value because they don't want him to get hurt, bro. They're going to use Evan. I would be shocked. I'll put it like this. I would be shocked if Evan Fournier is not moved at the deadline. I would be shocked.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good night, fellas, man. 9 o'clock. Great show. Peace and love.
all right, we out. Salute to everyone in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for the Toxic Boys. And,
I like that one. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah. I was going with it, and I was like, I had to switch it up at the end. So we'll hit that thumbs up button. For the
Hit that
Toxic
thumbs up
Boys.
button for your Toxic Boys, man.
And we'll see you here next Tuesday. And salute to everyone again. Shout out the mods. Everyone besides CP the artist. Have a good night. All right, salute.
Yeah.